Hello, Soul Fam, what's up? What it do? Welcome to K&M Witchery, or Readings by K&M. I'm Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of you who may not know, and this is your spiritual check-in. My intention with these general, timeless collective readings is to offer y'all some practical advice in and around your healing, offering y'all some clarity wherever you might need it, and absolutely assisting y'all towards your spiritual evolution. So now that we're here and the introductions are made, I want to talk to y'all about the energies that are currently at play. Duh, because that's obviously why we're here. I'm sensing some ego battles in and around whether or not you have made the right choice. I'm hearing I'm between a rock and a hard place. I thought this is what I wanted. Some of y'all may be under the impression that perhaps maybe you made the wrong choice. And yet, the odds are in your favor as per what is coming out here. So, let's talk about it, shall we? First three cards out are the Ten of Pentacles, a very good card, the Chariot, as well as the Wheel of Fortune. Here they are. So, odds. I just heard, may the odds forever be in your favor. Something may have occurred to you in the recent past and or is currently under development. I just heard a realization. Perhaps maybe you had an aha moment. I'm hearing a conversation. Someone may have offered you clarity as of recently, and you've recognized that with this clarity, with this situation that kind of like turned the trajectory of your life, I'm hearing. So this could be work oriented. This could be about love, I'm hearing as well. Of course, this is a general reading, so only take as it applies. I'm also hearing moving too. Something had occurred that has you chasing a dream, chasing something that is tangible, something that is more abundant, that is offering you a lot of stability. I'm just hearing a dream come true. And then I heard, but is it? Sometimes things that are too good to be true are exactly that. In other cases, though, that is our ego sabotaging a really great opportunity. So what do you listen to and how? How is the question that's at play. So when it is your ego, when it is fear, when it is anxiety that is directing and taking the lead, it feels very unstable. It increases the level of fears and anxieties, right? It's like it kind of builds up on it. And so it has us in a Five of Wands energy. That this is that ego play that I was talking about, where it's almost like you're fighting yourself. You're fighting your past self. You're blaming yourself for other things. Perhaps maybe there's a lot of like guilt and shame in and around the narrative. And when it is your intuition that is speaking to you, it is quiet, it's subtle, it's peaceful, it fills up your cup, okay? So that's represented here with the Ace of Cups. It's like this opportunity that could be steering you towards a direction that is uncomfortable. And so the debate, you just don't know. Two of Swords is out here like you feel like you could potentially be at a crossroads, soul fam, really wondering. And with the Hermit, as well as the Five of Pentacles that come into play, I am going to, as respectfully and gently as I possibly can, challenge the narrative and the story that you are now telling yourself. Because you could very well be self-sabotaging something and mistaking something new and likely something unknown, something that perhaps maybe you hadn't had the privilege or opportunity to experience as something that could be really negative. An example of this could be a really good job that you could be moving towards, or perhaps maybe had been offered, and yet you're debating whether or not the fear of starting something new and having new clientele, new responsibility, perhaps maybe an increase of financial input, that the output is now going to be something that is unstable. It's rocky. Again, it's new, it's unknown, you know? And so you may very well begin to self-sabotage and build up this narrative that potentially you're not exactly good enough, or dare I even say deserving enough. Some of y'all may very well have imposter syndrome, right? Where you're in disbelief of the opportunities, the rewards, the acknowledgements that are now coming their way and flooding your experiences right now. And so you're left wondering whether or not you should run. Interesting narrative. Some of y'all could be feeling very stuck right now, feeling as though this is the best that you can do, whatever this may be for you. Now, of course, you could utilize my examples as your precise experience, or you can make it your own. But it seems as though, so fam, a lot of y'all tuning in and whom are still here and resonating could very well feel as though be wary about sabotaging a really good thing, okay? When your intuition is speaking to you and guiding you down a direction of the unknown, such as a great new job, you could be really subtly pulled down a particular direction, but the direction itself brings upon a string of anxieties and fears of their own because it's new, because it's unknown. And so it makes you feel an influx of different types of emotions. Emotions that perhaps maybe have you misconstrue as something that is really bad because, well, it's building up on your fears and anxieties. So it's difficult to kind of listen to the right voice, quote unquote. And oftentimes, and this is something that I believe the spiritual community perhaps maybe doesn't touch on too often, our wonderful, powerful intuition will sometimes lead us down paths that are uncomfortable. And that's because the only way out of any stresses and chaos that we may had once experienced requires us to trailblaze down a new path that has us start feeling an influx of different types of emotions that perhaps maybe we hadn't been used to. Some of these emotions could very well be a floodgate of tears, for example. Now, I had offered this example in likely at least 2 different spiritual check-ins and videos in the past, where I gave the example of a veteran at war. When they are there, they're very programmed and ready for survival to fight. There is no time to freeze and flight, or they might risk their survival. And so it isn't until they're comfortable and warm in a bed away from the terror that these memories kind of come up and they have an influx of different types of emotions. That is because they are safe now to process what they had suppressed in order to survive. Now, of course, tuning in with y'all, this may be a very extreme example, and yet in very subtle ways, our unconscious mind brings about these types of experiences for us to cleanse and release old narratives, old experiences and situations that perhaps maybe had us in a survival mode in order for us to finally feel at peace. Because true healing requires the feeling. And so there may be this influx of emotions when you are perceivably making the right choice, and when you're choosing a path that leads you towards the stability and abundance and all of these goals that you had once set in place, right? You find yourself in a doubt, like, did I make the right choice? Did I make the right decision? Should I maybe turn around? Try again, start over, go back to what was. And that is because that used to be your safety net, that used to be your comfort zone. And you might be wondering, well, that situation, whatever it may be, whether it was a past partner, whether it was whatever it was, I mean, we can be here forever. It's general reading after all. So previous situations were your chaos at one point or another, and you had chosen, especially with the Chariot, it's a very decisive energy forward, chosen to start anew. And again, the outcome here is a very positive one, right? Like, this is an energy that we aspire towards. We want stability and abundance and happiness. And so we have to wonder, perhaps, maybe, what is the price that we are to pay for such things? And a lot of that is, in fact, feeling. It's allowing the sense of peace. And sometimes, oftentimes, peace can feel very frightening to those whom are uncomfortable with the premise thereof. When you are so conditioned to live a life of stress, peace feels very unknown, very unstable, especially when it offers up the opportunity to heal and your unconscious mind allows you to then release, and it's telling you, okay, we're safe now to let all of this go. Well, what I'm saying here is I completely empathize and sympathize with the simple, not so simple fact that there's a lot of confusion here as to which voice we are to listen to. Because as subtle as your intuition is, and it's guiding you towards happiness, you're left feeling like shit, right? And then on the other side, you have this ego and this fear building up even more anxiety. So you're like, what do I do? Did I even choose right? I did just hear yes, okay? So this could very well be, Soul Fam, a polite, gentle nudge for you to continue to allow the release of emotions and perhaps maybe old frames of mind and false beliefs that used to really take the wheel, and allow yourself to process them. Now, this is absolutely when I would recommend getting yourself a therapist, some sort of psychiatrist perhaps. You can absolutely book with myself at K&M Witchery. Now, I am none of those two, although I do offer hypnotherapy as well as neuro-linguistic programming to help change the narratives of the mind, as plainly as I could explain that, and give you a sense of control in these manners and learn how to listen to these voices, if you will. And by voices, I mean these nudges, these little niggles, you know, like the sense of intuition and knowing, and building a big trust in and about that, and getting comfortable with the uncomfortable solely to accept the positive. So just know, you guys got options, okay? If not with me, with anybody that you feel called to work with. Hierophant just came out here as well to confirm that, okay? So perhaps maybe identify, Soul Fam, who it is in your lovely sphere of resources that has accomplished the types of goals that you are chasing after, or has experienced some of the unknowns that you had and had come across the other side, and seek advice from them, okay? Because there is here a question of whether or not you are going to the right person or the right people for advice. And We are all absolutely entitled to our own opinions based on our own experiences, and yet if the outcome of those experiences are not mirroring or directly leading towards your goals, soul fam, then you can consider them more so just opinions and projections as opposed to helpful tidbits of guidance. Okay, so it's a matter of really paying attention to who it is that you allow to cast opinions and, dare I say, even judgment on your scenario, to allow you a safe place to heal, process, and thus accomplish the goals that it is that you are looking to obtain. Because there is a sense here of a lack mindset that is really coming into perspective, okay? When the Five of Pentacles comes on in, this does absolutely call upon a need for change. And this need for change is very often in and around the value that we hold within ourselves, okay? So you could maybe believe that you're only worth the chaos that you have been used to. You are most likely going to pick a familiar hell than an unfamiliar heaven, because the unfamiliar heaven is exactly that. It's unfamiliar, it's unknown. And there seems to be a lot of confusion here, soul fam, in and around what is it that you can in fact accomplish, what you are worthy to obtain in this lifetime, what and whom you are capable to experience in this lifetime. So be very wary of the narratives. And again, if these narratives are shunning you and blaming you and casting false judgment on you and making you feel worse about yourself, well, it's time to invite the opposite, okay? Because the opposite is true. This Two of Swords comes out again in a different deck. So there seems to be, soul fam, the crossroads that y'all are in. If you're still here, of course, please give us a little like, thumbs up, you know, if you're a little shy, and if you're more open to share your experiences and resonances, I would love to hear from y'all in the comments down below. But it seems as though the crossroads is internal. It's like you're fighting with yourself. I'm hearing someone like convincing themselves, well, like, this is supposed to feel good, and like I made the right choice, didn't I? And yet, why do I feel like this? If this is supposed to be that's something that's really good, why do I feel so low? It is because you're reprogramming yourself to also meet a different type of vibration, and oftentimes that requires a cleanse and release before the acclimation and thus the ascension can take place. Now, a lot of this maybe sounds like hoopla, but ultimately what it means is you gotta let go of something in order for something else to come on in, right? Say this is a relationship. You must release the toxic person in your life in order to commit to someone whom is ready to mature and grow with you, right? There's got to be a give and take. Same thing about a brand new job or moving. You gotta close one door to enter another one. Being in two places at once will further create chaos to push you out in one form or another. So we must be very wary about being stuck in an indecisive Two of Swords energy, swords being that of the intellect and thoughts and the mind and perspectives, for too long. Because when you're resisting change, change gets thrust upon you like this wheel of fortune, likely has or is currently at the point of y'all tuning in. So is this resonating with y'all? Let me know. So what is the solution here for my soul fam? What is the helpful piece of advice? I just heard seek help. Okay, soul fam. So be open to invite a new narrative, one that allows you to invite others to give you a lending hand. Okay, justice comes out here with the King of the Moons is Cups. Someone that could allow you to feel safe to express yourself emotionally. Okay, someone that could bring balance and harmony in and around a lot of this confusion, right? We're finding a nice little beautiful balance here with this Justice card. Did the Justice even come out before, or was that Judgment? Oh, my bad. Anyways. Seek help, soul fam. Let go of the narrative that you have to do everything yourself. Okay? Times are changing. Welcome to the age of Aquarius, where we're bringing in and inviting a new sense of community where, and I know this probably seems almost impossible with everything that's going on in the world. The Hierophant just came in here again, soul fam. But there will be a unity in this world where cultures, countries, societies, neighborhoods, families can come together, and it's like we're rebuilding the world that we are living in. And yes, that does often require destruction. There is no coincidence as to what is occurring in this world. And yet, the advice is still the same, soul fam. Ask for help wherever it is that you need it. Oftentimes the clarity that we seek has to come from an external source who is able to make sense of our perspectives and narratives enough for them to help you think outside of the box. Because when we're so close to a situation and a problem, it's more difficult for us to see the full scale of opportunities and potential even solutions, so much so that they cloud our judgment from actually seeing what exists outside of the problem. You have the Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Staying stuck and convincing yourself, soul fam, that this is just how it is for me, and well, my parents did this and my grandparents did this, so this is bound to happen to me. I just heard like a curse. Some of y'all may believe that like your nose itch on that. Interesting. That perhaps maybe there's like some sort of like a curse, a generational something. Break that. Soul fam, these are ideologies. Like, you are in control of your own life and your own destiny. Period. Okay? Your goals, your desires in this lifetime are no coincidence. And yes, oftentimes running towards what it is that we really want to accomplish in this lifetime is frightening, especially because you've been conditioned to believe that perhaps maybe you're unworthy or undeserving of it, or cancel, whatever it may be for you. So I invite y'all, soul fam, to seek assistance, to ask for help, to perhaps maybe take off some of that workload, okay? Because with the Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups here, it's like you're going in and about, like, it's like you're going in circles and almost like confusing yourself, you know, and building up these stories that feel worse and worse and worse because there are so many different options, you know? Choose one. Choose one. Choose the one that you know will bring you the happiness, not the illusion. Because staying stuck and stagnant in a situation or experience or a relationship, thinking that it's going to change, even though the patterns have consistently proven otherwise, thus have thrown you into a loop of stress and chaos, a repetitive one, a predictable one, a familiar hell. Y'all vibing? You fucking understanding this shit? Sorry, I cuss. Oh, I've been trying not to because Daddy YouTube doesn't really like it, but I am who I am. It just throws us in a loop and keeps you stuck in something that will always have you yearning for more and assuming control over another person's reactions, actions, and whatever outcomes is the illusion. Thinking that you can change somebody or believing their Same old story, I will change, or things will be different now. We'll just give you more money and things are gonna get better for you, if this is like work oriented, right? And you stay stuck because you keep believing the same old narrative without there being changed behavior. Like, changed behavior should be a love language. I know it's definitely one of mine, if there ever was one. Add that to the freaking list right next to all of the others. Changed behavior. And in order to truly experience changed behavior, it has to start with you, soul fam. You must be the change that you wish to have in this world and in this life. And sometimes it does require an external body to help you. And this doesn't necessarily even have to be like a paid service, if that's not what's currently aligning to you. If you are pulled to book with somebody, to schedule something, please listen to that intuition. It may be uncomfortable to, let's say, spend that money, okay? And yet, you know that the outcome is going to bring about deeper solutions and help, guidance, right? Different perspectives will be able to be integrated to help build up the confidence that you need in order to obtain. But it could also be just a helping hand of someone who lives in the same household as you. Have somebody else open up that jar of pickles. We know you can do it yourself, but like, extend the hand. Now, obviously this jar of pickles is your own conundrum, but believing as though you have to do it all yourself, soul fam, is the thing that is hindering your progress right now. At least to those tuning into this very general reading. I did hear my snaps. So I feel like I'm kind of leaving y'all on like a cliff here, like a cliffhanger. So I heard the next one. There is no extended, but perhaps maybe the next spiritual check-in could offer y'all a little bit more of like what's next. So I will leave y'all with this, and it is an invitation to reach out and ask for support and open up to different potentials from people whom are outside of the narrative and the stories that you have been stuck in for likely a long time. Because, like it or not, ready or not, here change comes. You can't hide. The Wheel of Fortune is upon y'all, soul fam. It's a matter of taking control of your own reactions, allowing the very human experience of feeling things through, however it is that that resonates with y'all, and then inviting in the right type of guidance and clarity for y'all. So I hope this helped anyone who needs it. And I do apologize if this is a cliffhanger, but y'all got your next steps. If you're still here tuning in, please reach out to somebody, a friend, a family member, a professional, me at K&M Witchery, whomever and whatever it is that you are resonating with, soul fam, because you are entitled to the love, happiness, stability, and abundance and wealth and health that you are desiring. So perhaps maybe open up to that. Okay? All right, that's it. That's it from me. Thank you for tuning in. You already know what to do. Do all of the YouTube-y things. Hopefully this offered anyone that little piece of clarity and push that y'all needed. You know how to find me. Otherwise, stay tuned to more videos that are to come. And I'm wishing you all the best in obtaining your beautiful manifestations, because they're here. It's a matter of learning how to train your mind to listen to the right feelings, nudges, voices, whatever it may be. Intuition and ego. It's quite a battle these days. I understand it. We all go through it. So reach out for some support, okay? Get that all figured out. And keep trusting that even though it's uncomfortable and new, it's good for you. Especially if it takes you out of a familiar hell. Love you, Soul Fam. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in another one. Bye.